Let me fucking scoot back a little so I don't punch the microphone.
Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch.
Maybe that one.
I'm going to go ahead and start this episode for any listeners, because this stuff will be edited out before my little intro dialogue here. I'm going to read you a passage from Crystal Lake Memories, The Complete History of Friday the 13th, page 226 and 228. Adam Marcus, the director. I remember one of the big disagreements we had was over the hockey mask. Before I even hired to do the film, Sean said, "You can do whatever you want, but just get rid of that damn hockey mask." Sean Cunningham. That is not true. These are interviewed, by the way, people, separately. Separate things. They're not in a round room doing this interview. This is not true. How could you do it without a hockey mask? What was Adam thinking? I didn't have any feeling about the hockey mask whatsoever. I thought the hockey mask in part 3, when it first appeared, was just a way to try and keep Jason generic. He's the boogeyman. He's not supposed to be a person. On that level, it was good. Although I did think, don't they have any imagination? Because it was never explained. It was just there. It was just a device. But I never had any empathy for it, or antipathy, toward it. Adam Marcus. Sean's a liar, and you can print that. He literally said to me to get the damn hockey mask out, because the hockey mask was not Sean's idea. Sean had a disdain for it. He might have changed his feelings for it since, but he sure didn't like the hockey mask then. That will just summarize what this movie, Jason Goes to Hell, is. One big disagreement that no one can agree how it played out. My name's Lance. I am the host for today's episode. Oh boy, I gotta take a breath. Today we have Owen, part of the Usual Suspects. We have Cody.
Yo.
And then we also have, I guess, our permanent guest host, who's been on like at least 4 to 5 episodes with us. And if anybody can't fill in, he will fill in for us if we absolutely need him to. Alex.
What's up, players?
Alex from I'll Take 3. Owen.
3 what?
Exactly. Now, it's become a bit where I have to just say that. Okay, my God, we're here. I went into this week doing my research for this movie, thinking I'm going to hate this movie as much as I hate Halloween Ends, probably more, because Jason looks like a rated R version of a Power Rangers villain in this fucking movie. But listening to Adam Marcus, the director, I have just mixed emotions on this movie. So right off the top, before anything gets discussed, I want to have the spoiler alert right now. I want everybody's reaction to this movie and what they think about it in like 5 sentences. And we'll start off with Alex, we'll go to Cody, then we'll go to Owen. Alex, go ahead.
All right. I think this movie is really, really, really bad. The very opening premise of the idea of FBI killing Jason is kind of cool, and then it's all downhill from there with mystical things and no Jason. And when Jason's on screen, he looks horrible. Yeah, I do not care for this movie.
All right, Cody.
I love it. No, I'm kidding. I agree a little bit with Alex. The beginning of the movie I think it's pretty interesting. The whole setup to kill Jason. I think it's interesting all the way up to the point that they're in the morgue. But as soon as the mortician or whatever randomly decides he's going to eat Jason's heart, that's when it just falls off a cliff. But yeah, we'll get into more details, I guess, as we go on.
Owen, sir?
I thought this was the best Jason movie. No, I'm just fucking with you. I had to do the
It's a
fake
good
out
thing.
too.
It's a
Oh
good
my
thing you
God.
moved back to Aaron, fucker. All right.
I had to do the fake out too. If I could describe this movie in a couple of words, it would be nonsensical, by the numbers, and contrived. This movie, to me, I don't see how it really appeals to anybody because it's so. There's no Jason in it, so Jason fans are going to be upset. It doesn't do anything interesting, like with regards to slasher movies. I don't know. It just sucks. The character sucks. The acting sucks. The plot sucks.
What year was this movie made?
It was made 92 to 93. It was released in 93. So
Okay.
2 years after Freddy's dead, and actually 2 years before Mortal Kombat. All
'Cause
three
I was-
New-Line Home Cinema.
I was curious because Freddy's Dead specifically has a similar kind of story element with like these spirit things that they're like what gives Freddy his power, right? And so watching this, and there's the whole like there's that weird little creature that comes out of Jason, and there's like the orbs of light and all that crap. I'm like, man, this is like eerily similar. And I know that obviously it's the first New Line Cinema Jason movie, so I was like, man, this is weird. I wonder how close together these movies are.
Yeah. Well, I remember. So we'll get into like the first time watching. Like I said, I beat it to a dead horse. I watched these movies with my grandmother, and I watched them out of order. It went with like part 6, then probably part 2, then 3 and 4, and then probably 1 sprinkled in there. And then she eventually found 8, and then she found 5 and 7, and then she found 9. Like I said, I got a chance to watch all these before Jason X actually was going to be released in theaters. Jason X came out here in America in 2002. I think they had a showing in 2001 somewhere. It was actually made in 99, and it stayed on the shelf for like 2 or 3 years. But yeah, so I watched this with my grandmother. She had the VHS tape of it. Alex, what was the first time you watched this movie?
Besides the remake in Freddy vs. Jason, this was the last one I watched, and I remember being at my buddy Chase's house and
Yeah,
wanting
the
to
porn
watch.
star. He's got the 18-inch cock. Chase has this 18-inch cock I've been told about. Like, he actually auditioned to be in a porno at one time.
Yeah. That's...
Then he married Alex's cousin and had a couple kids.
and they're divorced now. So.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah.
She said it was too much. Too much.
No, well, the
But-
funny part was I hate to be like this. I guess I'm the friend replacer. But he was Alex's best friend, and then Alex moved down here. Then I became his best friend. And then when Alex would move back to Idaho, their relationship was kind of like distant. And Chase was like, "What's going on? Is it me? Is it you?" And then I was Alex's best man at the wedding, and Chase was kind of passive aggressive about it. And he goes, "I'm so happy you could have been there for him in Clarksville." I'm like, "Yeah, man, appreciate it." It's
Oh,
kind of
wow.
weird. And
Interesting.
it was something to that extent, and I was like, "Oh yeah, cool." And then I was, how do you put this? Whoring around with the the maid of honor, and
Potato
she's a
girl.
sweet woman. And do what?
The potato girl. Is it
The
Idaho,
potato girl.
right?
Well, she's Hispanic, but I mean, it works because she's in Idaho.
Yeah.
And she's a wonderful lady, and she deserves all the success and happiness in her life. She told me that Chase had tried to get with her at some point before all this, and it's just really fucking weird. But then Alex, Cody's friend, is married into a cult. What is his name? Cody. Gary, yeah, he's married into a cult. So it's like I'm the best friend for everybody now, huh?
But yeah, so he had the movie, and I was like, oh damn, I've never seen this Jason movie. I was super excited to watch it, and whew, it was not up to what we were thinking.
I'm gonna go with Owen first because I feel like Cody, you had seen bits and pieces of this movie before. Or was this the first time for you, Cody?
No, I've actually seen this whole movie before.
Okay.
Um,
So I had a feeling. I knew Owen this was going to be his first time watching, right, Owen?
Yeah, that's right. I've never seen it before.
Okay. Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
So we
I
got
think-
varying degrees of Neapolitan of shit here. We even got a new flavor. It's like double chocolate. But don't touch the peanuts. Spoiler alert, there weren't peanuts. It was just more shit. I ate it all anyway. Pooped, puked, jerked off, and now I'm hanging with you bros. Shout out to Rafi from the league.
Oh man, I was trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
That was when he's like that one guy backs into him and goes, "Oh, welcome to Manland."
Look at me, Brian, or I can't finish.
Happy New Year! Okay, so Lord, how do I put this? What Adam Marcus has said in the documentary. So my research this week was I halfway paid attention while watching the movie, but I was listening to the director's commentary that he had with the writer of the Crystal Lake Memories book, and also had a separate one with the writer of the movie. So I listened to both commentaries. They had two 30-minute, like, kind of halfway documentaries just talking to Adam Marcus, him talking about the movie and his career and his relationship with Sean. And then I ended up watching the movie. I kind of skimmed through the Crystal Lake book like an hour before we got on to record. And then I watched the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, which each chapter is about 25 minutes per movie. And then I rewatched it with the commentary from the creators of the Crystal Lake documentary on there too, just to see if I can glean any kind of information that, it's like I'm not going to find on Wikipedia or whatever. I will say this, Sean Cunningham, I owe an apology to John Carpenter and George Lucas. I've bemoaned George Lucas a lot on this podcast. I still think all of his changes are shit, but at least he cared about the franchise. So I give him that. John Carpenter, I just thought you were a bitter old fuck because you created Halloween and then Friday the 13th copied you, and then it got bigger than Halloween at one point. But he had every right to call Sean Cunningham a loser. I don't know. I don't think he called him a loser. I'll tell you, he's a loser in my opinion. Sean Cunningham is in this franchise for the fucking money. Okay.
Yeah.
He directed the first movie with Victor Miller, who wrote the script. Like, he had the idea for Friday the 13th, and it's a horror picture. Victor, take it away. And Victor came up with this reverse psycho where it's the mother killing because she lost her son, and the son's talking to the mother in her head, and they just ripped off Halloween. And they both admit it. Like, and there's no problem with it. Like, it spawned my favorite horror franchise in Friday the 13th because I really enjoy these movies and they're fun. That's why I have Friday the 13th, the original movie, ranked so fucking low in my rankings, is because I know it's just a ripoff and it's got the stench of Sean Cunningham on it. I cannot stress enough. Like, he saw money because he wanted to make Freddy versus Jason. That's why he got back into the right. Paramount squeezed every drop they could out of this franchise, and after Jason Takes Manhattan, which was kind of disappointing in the box office, they just quietly just did away with the rights. And all they did was sell Jason to New Line Home Cinema. Like, they could reference Pamela, but they couldn't reference Friday the 13th, the title. They couldn't reference Tommy Jarvis and all this other shit. So Adam Marcus was really not working with a lot. He just had Jason. Like Adam, like I said, the whole thing, Adam is all in every one of his interviews has been consistent saying for years that Sean told him to get the hockey mask off him. Sean has no idea why this franchise is so popular. He just likes the ATM machine. And every once in a while, when it gets to, I guess, reading below halfway on the gas tank, he wants to go fill up again, so he puts out another project for Friday the 13th, i.e. the Friday the 13th game. And then when all of a sudden, when he started having to share profits with Victor Miller, all that shit got shut down. So that's the biggest thing from this. Sean Cunningham is a pariah. That's it. He is a fucking leech who doesn't have an original idea in his fucking body. And the fact that the reason why we don't have shit is because of him, because he doesn't want to share any of the fucking money with Victor Miller. He's hoping Victor fucking dies off. And I get Victor like, hey, let me go ahead and try to cash in and get some money off this thing, because he got paid for one fucking script and didn't get paid any residuals. I get it. But it's fucking just... Sean's the reason why all this has just been bad. He, like I said, he created the first one. He told him he didn't want to direct it. He thought directing a Friday the 13th movie sequel with Jason as the killer was stupid. So they took over the assistant director, Steve Miner, for part 2 and then eventually part 3. And Sean said, look, I'll talk to them to get you the job, but just make sure my wife is the film editor. So she was the editor for the second movie. That was the last time Sean was associated with the franchise until he got the rights back from Paramount with New Line and made this movie. So, my God, man, like that's the only thing, because none of it's like so. Like Adam is very. He was a young director, 23. He had some problems with Diane Keegan, Carrie Keegan, excuse me, the Jessica Kimball, Jason's niece. Oh, by the way, Jason has a sister. Everybody, surprise! I don't know. I didn't know if you know that, Cody or Alex or Owen. Jason has a fucking half sister. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
Jason's
I mean, it makes
mom.
sense.
God, it all makes sense now.
I finally understand.
Can I just say,
Nope.
real
Can't.
quick before I forget,
Mm-mm.
the setup to
think
this
so.
movie, the setup to this
There is no
movie
setup.
leads. Yeah, there is a setup. It just doesn't lead to where any of us would have wanted it to go. The setup to this movie could have led to what could have been a potentially interesting Friday the 13th movie or Jason movie, I guess. Because when you get to, the morgue and the guy eats the heart and then like it transfers Jason's essence or whatever to him, I thought about it and I was like, if they could have, what they should have done with that same exact setup is don't do the heart eating thing, but just make it to where this medical examiner or whatever has like this obsession with Jason, because people in the characters in this movie, they know who Jason is, right? Because they talk about him in the beginning, and they're like, there's a whole thing later on like, oh, Jason's dead, 2 for $1 burgers or whatever, and so it's like they're setting it up that people know who Jason is. So let's say that the medical examiner has an obsession with Jason, and it becomes like more like a Frankenstein style movie,
Copycat killer
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah, well, he takes the body parts, puts it all back together, and like revives Jason that way.
Oh, okay. I
I
like that.
Well,
yeah, and see.
Go ahead, Cody. Keep going. No, keep going with your idea. I have
see,
something to
to
say
me-
about that in a minute.
To me, that would have made a more interesting film. Then you could have had like this dynamic between the medical examiner kind of having some sort of like sway over Jason for a good portion of the movie, because of them being connected in that way. I don't know where it could have led. I mean, obviously, if in a theoretical film like that, it would have been Jason ends up killing the medical examiner or whatever, and the protagonist ends up taking down Jason temporarily until the next movie. But at least it could have been more interesting than, oh, we're just gonna have Jason's spirit bounce around between different random characters.
Jason is a
That-
ghost now.
Yeah, and these characters that you barely even know because they're introducing them at just a rapid pace.
Well, real quick, I'll give you this, because I've been very confused about this my entire 30 years after seeing this movie. So we'll get into the plot here in a minute, people. If you've seen this title and you've clicked on this episode, you've probably seen this fucking movie, unless you're Sarah. Hi, Sarah. So Jason gets blown up after the first 10 minutes. And then at the end of the movie, when his little demon form goes up his sister's cooch, he pops back out looking the exact same as he did in the beginning. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself, so if he got reborn in another body, he should look probably closer to part 3, all clean and brand new. Or something, and I've just like I had these three options. I took a whirl on it because I tweeted at him before he never responded. So I tweeted at Adam Marcus 13, who's the director of this movie. I said something has been bothering me for over 30 years. At the end of Jason Goes to Hell, when he comes back, is it a new body? Is it his sister's body transformed into Jason? Is it his original body just reformed? Because, I mean, if it looks just exactly before, it's obviously his body parts put back together some magical way. And Adam responded, oh shit, I dropped my phone. Adam responded.
He said, "Piss off, basement dweller."
No. He literally just said, oh shit, I just dropped my phone, LOL. No, he goes, Adam responded.
Fantastic.
Now, this isn't going to make much sense, but just to give it some context, Adam said, it's his original body reformed in its dead zombie state because he was reborn through Diana's dead body. He was trying to get to the baby, but was stopped by Steven, so Creighton's plan to save the baby worked. So then I responded, so just hypothetically, if Jason had got to the baby, he would have gotten a new body? And he said, yes, that's the idea. So I responded to that going, so is there, if there was a bonus scene at the end of the movie where we go back to the morgue where Jason's body was in pieces, would we just not find nothing? Like it's his old body put back together in magical means just because it makes no sense otherwise? He hasn't responded. I have deleted and retweeted that tweet to him multiple times just trying to get him to respond in 4 days. He just said, fuck off, kid, I guess. But so the Jason at the end of the movie, it's literally his old body put back together through magical means. Somehow, some way, and that's why he looks the same. So I always thought it was like his sister's body transformed into Jason, but I'm like, I guess it's his original body. Okay, it's cool. Reformed. I mean it's his exact words.
Regardless of what the explanation is there, it still doesn't make any damn sense. Like
no, like he has some idea. So in this movie, you have the Necronomicon. Yeah, whatever. The Necronomicon. He asked Sam Raimi if he could use that in his movie. Sam Raimi handed over the book in a Ziploc bag. Here you go. Okay, cool. So the way Adam, if you listen to his interviews, and he's real passionate about it when he talks. I know it is 100%. Like he said, like the Freddy glove, when he asked to use the glove at the end of the movie, that there was a guy who came in with a really thick wooden box who had the glove in it. They used it. He grabbed the glove and put it back and carried it back to where it came from. Like that was heavily guarded. He just thought it was funny the difference between Sam Raimi and New Line with Freddy.
Speaking of the Necronomicon, I read it somewhere before, and I don't know if it's accurate or not, but wasn't one of the original ideas like the reason they wanted the Necronomicon in the movie was because they were going to like kind of set it up that Jason was a Deadite or something? Isn't that what the original plan was, or is that just some BS? Well,
no. So he wanted to use the Necronomicon because. So you have the mother at the beginning of the first movie. She loses her child. She goes on this murderous rampage. And then the way he explains it, which is not the way a lot of Friday the 13th fans look at it. He says, at the end of the movie, Jason pops out of the lake, and then in the course of a month, gains 150 pounds of body weight and grows 2 feet taller, somehow Googles an address, gets to Alice's place, kills her, and then all of a sudden he's just a full-blown like elephant man. And he obviously drove because she's in the city. So he says the only way to explain all that, and then like he says later on, he gets an axe to the head, and then in part 4 he gets his whole body chopped up to pieces, and then he's back together for part 6 when they resurrect him. But he says, me having the Necronomicon in my movie is too fucking far, huh? He didn't say it like that. I'm just enunciating. He said, having the Necronomicon showing that Jason is this magical demon that's Satan's like killer just makes more sense now. Now you can kind of buy all the movies that happened before the way they happened. Why Jason never dies, he always comes back. And like Pamela Voorhees would have done anything to bring her son back, including read through the Necronomicon. So I get why he did that. I think a lot of people, when they get mad, they don't understand the context. Like, I didn't understand the context. But again, piss on the Evil Dead franchise. It means nothing to me. I watch it because we're recovering the movies on on this podcast. I didn't grow up with it. Does not matter to me. But I think people look at the Evil Dead franchise as like elevated compared to Friday the 13th.
I
So-
don't know. I don't know if that's true because
I mean, dude, how many people? Okay, let me ask you this real quick, Cody. Who do you associate Evil Dead with? First name, not the
Sam-
actor, the director.
Sam Raimi, yeah.
Okay, who do you associate with Friday the 13th as a director?
I mean,
They've all had different
nobody-
directors.
Nobody really.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody looks at it as Friday the 13th, and this is the truth though, as a ripoff of Halloween, all the way from Jason having the mask and everything. And Evil Dead was something that's more original, kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street was more original. That's why people
I'd say
have.
Evil, at least the original, not so much the first one, but the second and the third one are super tongue-in-cheek, kind of like they're not taking it too seriously. I know it becomes more serious, but I don't think they.
Are you talking about the Evil
think
Dead
it's-
or Friday the 13th?
Yeah, Evil Dead.
I
Evil
feel like
Dead,
it's
okay.
only recently become more serious. Definitely by the third movie, it's complete bonkers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This
But
is
I
my
think people-
boomstick.
the reason I say I don't think people hold it in like as an elevated status, it doesn't matter with the director part of it. The first Evil Dead movie is a horror movie through and through. The second one kind of introduces comedy, and like the third one is very slapstick. I wouldn't even consider the third one. I mean, I know it's classified as horror, but it's not really even horror.
No, it's more like fantasy.
Yeah, I think that I don't ever hear anybody say that Evil Dead is like head and shoulder. I mean, yeah, people might like it more than Friday the 13th or whatever, but I don't think they would consider it to be like this super high quality, like, nothing. It's untouchable sort of.
No. I
status
would.
or-
Four.
So I'll probably word it poorly. Do you think, Cody, as someone who's watched all these movies and the Evil Dead movies, do you prefer Evil Dead over Friday the 13th?
I do, yeah, but that's.
Okay.
I mean, that's.
I mean,
because
that's just a
But
general
even-
thing. It's nothing
but-
like I'm just
yeah,
saying. Like
yeah.
I think people will say, if you had to pick one, it would be the Evil Dead franchise because you can emote with Ash Williams. You see his face. Jason is just a fucking hockey mask that people who downgrade the franchise say each movie is just a copy of the other movie, just in different things. You guys have said so yourself on this podcast.
Guilty.
And I'm not like, I'm just saying like I'm analyzing this, So
Oh yeah.
I think people, because they said that, well, Jason's not a deadite. He goes, look, you don't have to be a deadite. There's multiple different ways of bringing somebody back. You can say he's a revenant. You can say whatever. But he was just trying to have something, some kind of magical thread that tied all the unbelievable things in the previous 8 Friday the 13th movies together. And I get it. I mean, I didn't get it before I listened to them. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't like, oh, man, I can't wait to watch this fucking movie. And by the way, I wish I could have gave you guys the unrated cut. It's a tad bit longer, but the kills are a lot better. And it's a better movie than the theatrical cut. Because I watched that, and then I watched the theatrical cut. I'm like, God damn, everything got cut. Like that chick when they're
I
fucking
was
in the
gonna ask
tent.
you about that because I know a lot of it, like, okay, the tent kill, right?
Yeah, the tent fucking where she's on top of him. So it shows them fucking, right? And then she's having an orgasm. Then all of a sudden, this fucking street sign pole goes straight through her midsection. Blood squirts all the dude's face. And then she's spitting up blood. And then Jason pulls it up. And obviously, you can tell it when it switches into a prosthetic dummy. But it rips her just in fucking half in the top. It's a great
Yeah,
fucking
that's-
kill.
Okay, so when I was a kid, we had this on DVD. Somehow we ended up with it on DVD, and I thought I remembered that specific shot of like it
Yes.
showing, like the camera's kind of lower down, so you see the thing come, through her chest and all that. And so when I was watching this, I was like, am I misremembering? Is there like another
No.
kill that's from a different movie? But I mean, the only other movie it could have been at that point is the remake, because I know it's not in Jason X. I've seen that movie like 20 times in my life. So
No, you were correct. It was definitely. It was just like I said. This one, I had given Alex, for context, I had a Friday the 13th box set that came in kind of a cool like tin box lunchbox looking thing. Not really a lunchbox, but It's pretty dope little cover, and unfortunately, the cover Jason on the box, isn't it? Jason Goes to Hell, Jason, Alex.
I'd have to look at it again. I can't remember.
I feel like it's either Jason Goes to Hell, Jason, or the New Blood, Jason. Which is all Kane Hodder. I guess it doesn't fucking matter. But Alex, it has like a 3D glasses. It's just a cool little book.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason, sorry, Alex, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's got the 3D glasses for the third movie, and it's got some interesting photographs and stuff in the book.
Yeah, and I wanted, like, Cody had already had like the 1 through 8 set. I'm like, well, if I give it to Cody, it'd be kind of redundant. And I asked Alex, "Hey, do you got the Blu-rays of these?" He goes, "Nope." I go, "Well, do you want them?" He goes, "Yep." So I packaged them really tight in like 2 things of like bubble wrap, just because I was afraid it was gonna get damaged. Because I wanted to buy this Shout DVD set, which is, I mean, I think it's pretty fucking dope. I got the Shout set of Halloween and Friday the 13th, so I got all the movies. It's great. It's funny because like the bonus disc that came with it only has like 1 through 8 special features. Like it was off of the 2004 DVD set that Paramount released to have all the special features. But this Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell one had the unrated and the theatrical cut. So I went to rent the movie. The only way I could rent it for cheap was YouTube, and only had theatrical cut. I'm like, okay, well, we'll just watch that for the show, and I'll watch for the commentary. And yeah, that bag, that sleeping bag, the tent scene is so much better on there. Trying to think other things, like when Jason kills the chick. So when he's in the TV anchor's body, the Robert guy, you know, she throws that metal rod through him. So what happens is he grabs her and pulls her into it and impales her, and she spits out blood. She says, "Go to hell." And then he puts his hands up to her head, squeezes, and you see a bunch of blood coming off the top of her head, like a big squirt, like squirt gun. It's pretty cool. So a lot of the kills have been expanded out, especially the cop dissolving after he spits out the Jason penis worm out of his mouth into Robert. And yeah, so the unrated cut is better. It doesn't make a lot of sense to this movie. So for context, I mean, we're 34 minutes into it. Everyone, Jason, the first 10 minutes of this movie is like a normal Friday the 13th. There's a really hot chick at the beginning with bad hair extensions. She gets naked. She's got nice hooters. As soon as she gets in the tub, which that tub is very rusty and nasty, I wouldn't have got in that tub.
She's getting in the tub. She's like, "Oh my, I'm all alone and in the nude. I hope no one's watching me."
She's like, "Somebody's watching me."
Honestly, I would have laughed if they had said that.
that would have been funny as hell. But the light goes out, so she goes around. And Jason, whew, man, oh man, this is the worst look for Jason. You know, and
Looks
Adam
like he got
has
stung
said,
by a bunch of bees.
dude, my God, man, it looks like something Rita Repulsa
They
had
put
made up in like
bubblegum.
the second season.
Bubblegum all over his head.
It's like, why is his head growing up like that? It doesn't.
He's like a
make any
tree.
sense.
Now,
That whole
in
crew
my
just chewing
head,
Big League Chew.
yeah, if you don't chew big red gum, then fuck you.
It's like when you tie a rope around a tree or something and it starts to grow around the rope. Jason's basically a tree.
I want to know too, like, how did he regrow his body after Manhattan?
He turned into a kid.
And then he grew from that.
So what happened was, in the commentary with the Crystal Lake Memories guy, Peter Brackey, who's done God's work and putting all this stuff together. Like, there's a lot of care. And this book is like 300 fucking pages, and this is a large size book. This book is bigger than a full size notebook, and they've done a lot of stuff, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and they put a lot of love in this franchise, which I appreciate. It's so funny that Friday the 13th, find a franchise that is loved so much by its fans and want so much by its fans, and then the creators absolutely just fucking hate it. It doesn't exist. This is the most delusional dichotomy between franchise fan base, franchise creator. It's amazing. But he just looks so fucking bad. In my head, I was like, okay, Jason looks that fucked up because he got hit with a toxic waste in part 8. And I thought as a kid that it was the same hockey mask. But when you go back and watch part 8, the hockey mask has no strap to it. It's dissolving. So I thought that was the same hockey mask. But the little Chevrolet Vegeta hairline, red stripe in the middle of his forehead on the mask doesn't match from the last movie. So that doesn't matter. And he said in the commentary that Sean told him just to ignore part 8. So if this follows part 7, where the fuck did he get the mask? Like, I ain't trying to be mean. I do kind of care about continuity just a little bit. That's why I like part 7 all the way up until when I rewatched it, Alex. I don't know if you listened to our episode of part 7 yet. I pointed out the look of Jason, like, consistently, like, from all the damage he's had in the movies. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But what ruined it for me was at the very beginning, when they show Jason underneath the water, he's wearing a fucking mechanic suit. He's not wearing the khaki pants and the kind of greenish jacket he's been wearing since part 3 that he was in the water with in part 6. He now looks like Michael Myers in part fucking 4. So I'm like, all that continuity for me just kind of got tarnished because of that fucking mechanic suit. But so like Jason in this movie, just oh boy.
How do you? What's your thoughts on Kane Hodder too?
Okay, so oh boy. Okay, so Kane Hodder is not my favorite Jason, and I've said this before. I feel bad because Kane loves the role so fucking much, but he's not my favorite Jason. But I respect the work he put into it and the continuity he was trying to put between his performances as Jason in his 4 movies. He wanted not sympathy for Jason, but he wanted the depth of the character. Like, Jason doesn't hurt children and he doesn't hurt dogs. He kills adults because they abused him when he was a kid. That's the kind of like a little bit of a backstory he gave Jason. And it may sound silly from the outside, but I respect it. He wanted to put that much care into it. He's not in this movie enough. He has said himself, like it is an interesting look for Jason. So when someone says, "Oh, that's interesting," one of two things: they're actually pondering it and telling you, "Hey, that's kind of interesting. Why don't you go with that?" Or 2, they're trying to be fucking nice and don't want to say it's dog shit. So yeah, it's interesting. Because when someone says, "Hey, was the sex great?" and they go, "Yeah, it was interesting," that does not compute. Like, that's not like, I don't have sex with Savannah. She goes, "Yeah, that was interesting," and be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" You know, I'm gonna be laying awake at night thinking, "What?" So he says it's an interesting look, and it is actually a solid, like, the mask on him for Jason. You can't take the hockey mask off. The hockey mask is part of the prosthetic he was wearing. So he said when he was like wearing it, he was breathing in his own carbon monoxide when he was breathing in and out because they're carbon dioxide, well, not monoxide. He's dying. Carbon dioxide, and it's because he just couldn't breathe well. So before, when he had the makeup, he could take the hockey mask off and be like, okay, I can recharge my batteries a little bit. He didn't have that luxury in this movie, but luckily he's not in it a lot. I wouldn't say this is his worst performance because I think all of his performances are average.
I mean, he's lucky not having to do much in this one, too.
Yeah, you know, he's still the, like, stunt coordinator. He has that really fun scene where he tells the court, like, he's the guy, he's one of the security guards that gets killed by Jason in the morgue. He says, "Yeah, Jason was just a big old pussy." That's Kane Hodder, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
So he would say, I was like, I love that little scene. He's like, "Oh, Jason's just a big old pussy anyway, just smiling." I would say of like the look of Jason is the worst, but Kane Hodder's performance, it's kind of, I mean, he's kind of getting in his groove. I still think part 8 is his best performance as Jason. Part 7, he's trying to figure it out. All the noises that Jason makes in this movie, the grunting, is all made by Adam Marcus, by the way. That's not Kane Hodder doing it.
Okay. Why did they? This is the first one to have him like make noise like that, right? I can't.
He squealed like a pig before, big boy.
But it's just weird. He's like a
Yeah, it
gorilla.
Yeah, the
is.
grunts suck. They're so stupid.
He's like a monkey now.
Oh boy, you got canceled, Owen. So yeah, so I found out that Adam Marcus in the Crystal Lake says, yeah, all those noises Jason makes, that's me. And I'm like, yeah, that's a dumbass choice. Now in part 7, you can hear Jason kind of breathing through the mask a little bit, but I also associated that with, well, his chest and his spine are exposed, so you hear his lungs. So I've always thought that was kind of a cool add to the part 7 part of Jason. Part 8, he's completely silent and always fucking wet. He's like the perfect girlfriend. And
Oh my
Jason.
God.
Jason Jason X, Cody, you better leave that shit in. Jason X, I kind of like that look of Jason. There's no consistency with like continuity from the look. And Uber Jason, I thought was cool at the time, but now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. There's something about Kane though; he's just not tall enough. And I'm
Well,
saying that like,
that's why they replaced him for Freddy versus Jason, right?
no, hold on, I'm gonna get into that in just a second. Before,
Oh, okay.
before
Excuse me.
now look, okay, I'm saying this as a person in my flat feet, measuring top to toe, I am 6'2.5". Kane Hodder is 6'2". Jason from part 3, Richard Broker, is 6'3". So I'm in between those two. Ted White at this point is the tallest Jason. He's 6'4", and then Jason in part 6 is 6'3". So they're all been close to the same height. Jason in part 2 was fucking 5'10", so he wasn't a big dude originally.
I think the way Kane Hodder's body, I mean, he's just like a stockier
He's
guy
stocky.
too. So
Yes, that's his problem. And I think because I've talked to Alex like this week, just in quick text messages. I was like, who do you prefer as Jason? Like Jason, like Kane Hodder is the guy who played him in Freddy vs. Jason. And Alex, go ahead and say your thoughts on that real quick, because you won't be on that episode, unfortunately.
I mean, I think I prefer the Freddy versus Jason. At least it seems more intimidating to me.
And I kind of agree. I know Owen hasn't seen Freddy vs. Jason, right, Owen?
I did when I was a kid, but I don't remember.
Okay.
I will say the costume, so in that one he has like a rubbery head for some reason with random little hairs growing out of it.
Like kind of
And that whole thing is stupid.
I do remember that a little
But
bit.
it's
I remember
it's still better than Jason Goes to Hell, Jason. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Jason goes to heck.
I
Sorry.
told
Did we
Savannah.
offend you?
Yeah.
And then
Jason
went-
goes to HE double hockey sticks.
So, like, for me, like, that guy, so ironically, the guy who plays Jason in Freddy vs. Jason stunted for Kane in Friday the 13th Part 8 for 2 scenes. And it's Ken something. I don't know his fucking name. He's not important enough to me. But he's the dude that Jason grabs and throws into the mirror when they're in New York. When he goes into the diner, when Jason kicks through the doors, that big guy walks up, he goes, hey, and then Jason grabs him and just throws him in the fucking mirror. That dude plays Jason in Freddy vs. Jason. Which is ironic because that's like 1988 and then 2003. But Kane should have had a chance to play Jason in Freddy vs. Jason. You could have made him taller by giving him elevated shoes. Guess what, people? Kane from wrestling isn't 7 foot fucking tall. He's 6'5" and he had 4-inch lifts in his fucking boots. That's how it works. So
Yeah.
I think Kane, if he had that look, he could have done better because he has an aggression to Jason. But he also championed the franchise when the franchise was dead. From like 1988, a little bit with this movie, but up until 2002 with Jason X, he was doing interviews, keeping Jason's name out there. He was doing all the press, doing stuff like that, just doing small things for the franchise because he loved it so much. And then they didn't even give him a fucking chance. Like, they gave him a courtesy reading, but when they moved the production to Canada, he knew he was fucked because the guy who was going to play him is from Canada. So they weren't going to pay to fly him in and out of there.
Well, I thought
Yeah.
the
So I feel
primary
bad for
reason,
Kane.
though. I thought the primary reason though was because it was like the height in comparison to
Yeah.
Robert Englund.
No, that is true, but he, like I said, you could have put a 4-inch, like, elevated shoes on and dressed it up. Kane does not look tall in this movie here. He looks taller in Part 8 and Part 7 because he shot looking up. So it's a trick in wrestling. Everything goes back to pro wrestling.
He shot from down low.
Yeah, in this movie, he shot straight on. Like, he's the same height as most of the characters. It's really fucking weird. And, like, Andre the Giant, he looked huge on TV because they always shot him at an angle up when he was walking down the aisle because he looked like a giant. But that's a camera trick. Andre was already legit, like, 6'9". But they made him look even taller. You can make Kane look a little taller. The problem with this Jason is he's the same height as the Tommy Jarvis wannabe they got in Steven. He's almost the same height with some of the fucking women. And, I mean, you know, that's just like, it's bad camera work. And that's, again, it's a first-time director and shit like that. I get it. And then you got somebody who doesn't fucking understand the franchise producing. Oh, thank you, Sean. Thank God. So, the guy who made Freddy vs. Jason made Hulk, the 2003 Hulk movie. Baby, hush! My birds are like chirping, like acknowledge us.
And that Hulk movie also sucks.
It jumped the fucking shark. So, like I said, Freddy vs. Jason, the movie's cool. It's a fun action flick. But what really bothers me in that movie, and we'll get to it when we cover that movie in 2 months or
12
3
weeks.
months, 12 weeks. So that's times 4. That's 3 months. In 3 months, when we get to it, is Jason's afraid of water.
Jason
Why
died
the
by
fuck
water.
is he afraid of
Freddy
water?
by fire. How could we use
Because
this?
he drowned in it.
Yeah, he drowned in it, but he literally drowned in it in part 6. Does no one fucking remember that?
Hear me out.
No, I can't hear shit. My headphone died.
Maybe all those years of living in the woods like a hermit, he got bit by a rabid raccoon, and now he has rabies.
He's got rabies.
Okay. Well, you know, Cody, you just saved Freddy vs. Jason for me. I love that movie. You're right.
I mean, it's only to give so Freddy can psychologically mess with him. They literally had no other ideas to do that, I guess.
Yeah, and you can't use fire because Freddy's afraid of fire. So
Maybe if he was afraid of lightning. Well, I guess
Jason was resurrected by lightning.
Dude, if Freddy vs. Jason had a lightning storm in it all the time, that'd be pretty awesome.
I
feel like this is turning into like Pokemon.
Yeah. He's a grass type.
Oh, let me ask you this: What if Jason was afraid of yogurt, or if he had a dairy intake? He couldn't.
He was like, "Oh, my stomach is gonna hurt."
He's like, "Oh, I gotta take a shit, guys. Hold on." That's the one regret for me. Like, after Jason's dead, you don't have any reference of like, does he ever go shit? Like, he has to. He's eating at some point. He's got to poo. No, I'm joking. But so, like, jumping the shark in this episode. When Jason gets blown up, the coroner eats this Jello
Delicious
thing that they've dressed up to look like a heart with fruit parfait inside of it, dyed black. And that scene where he's like, he's coughing and shit.
He says,
Go ahead, Cody,
delicioso.
And he goes, when he's eating it in that part where he looks like he's about to gag, the actor's legitimate gagging. He's like, oh, God, this... And they got all the sound to describe it. It's pretty fucking funny. Quote of the movie, there's a bounty hunter. There's more backstory given to in the extended cuts that was deleted. That his girlfriend was killed by Jason, and he's been hunting him ever since, trying to get him. That's why there's a bounty hunter. But there's a quote where the TV reporter goes, I'm going to give you 2 words. You tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. He goes, okay, shoot. He goes, Jason Voorhees. He goes, that makes me think of a little girl in a pink dress. Thinking a hot dog through a donut. Doesn't make any fucking sense. And the actor has come out and said, I don't know what that fucking means. And I still don't know what it means.
Dude, the bounty. Can we talk about the bounty hunter character since he's now been brought up?
The prestigious.
I'd rather not. He's a Democrat.
Creighton Duke.
How do you know?
He sucks.
Damn, dude.
I love him. He's my favorite part of the
Dude,
movie.
when he's introduced and dude, it's the funniest scene when Jason gets exploded to tiny little bits and he's like, no, I don't think so. It's like, what the fuck?
Like in the prison cell or the jail cell later on, like he's breaking the guy's fingers to give him information. It's like, what is the point? What is?
'Cause he's so-
What is the purpose of this?
He's so fucking hard, dude. He's a badass.
I'll give you this one. I'll give you this one on the house. It's just
And
like,
how
all
could
right.
Breaks his cock.
Hey.
How
Oh
do you
God!
know all these things about?
You're not ready
How
for
it's
this
work?
one, buddy.
Oh my god!
It's his cock backwards like a pretzel.
He's like, Randy, help! So, real quick, how gnarly was that noise with the knuckles getting broke? Was that pretty sweet?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it was all good.
mean,
You
it
could
just
tell
grossed
when he
me out.
pulled his hand back up that it wasn't actually broken or anything. But
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
he's just like bending his like fingers down.
yeah. But
So, there's a quick story about this I gotta tell you guys. I thought was really funny. There's a guy who is a sound guy for the movie who was mixing it. And I guess he had some accident at some point. He only had 7 fingers. And Sean called him Seven Fingers. And he's like, oh, Seven Fingers is mixing the movie or whatever, you know. And Adam was like, they went back and forth arguing. Like, he thought, the guy, I can't remember his name for the sound, thought the knuckle popping should be like a lighter sound to be more realistic. And then Adam was like, no, it should be this loud, grotesque sound. And he goes, Adam, I think I should know what knuckles popping sounds like because he's missing fingers. And they said when they got to the movie showing, and Adam had said that the movie showings he went to, the crowd loved the movie and shit. And he goes, the sound guy came up to him after and begrudgingly said, hey, you were right about the knuckle sound. I'm like, yeah, I told you. But so there's a Creighton Duke has this mythology. Jason has a half sister. And it's kind of confusing because Pamela Voorhees said in the first movie, Jason, my only child, Jason. So the fan mythology is, and this movie gave Jason's father a name. His name is Elias Voorhees. So the thing was, and it doesn't make any sense when Adam explains it when you listen to the movie. So through a Voorhees was he born. From a Voorhees may he be reborn. Through a Voorhees may he die. Which I guess,
Yeah.
So I guess I'm assuming Pamela Voorhees was always Pamela Voorhees. That's her name, not her husband's name. Because
Do you think that was
the way,
written in the book? Like, how else could Creighton Duke have known that?
well, here's the thing. Also, I'll give you the heads up too, Alex. You know how we see that sign outside the Voorhees house, where the Voorhees is spelled with 1 O instead of 2 O's?
Okay, yeah.
So that's a real big fuck up. The Voorhees name has always had 2 O's. And Adam Marcus has said that, oh yeah, well, no one else. Sean walked by and didn't pay attention to it either, saying that the sign was fucked up by the set designer. Well, the commentary on the Crystal Lake documentary said that, well, throughout the entire script, it's spelled Voorhees with 1 O. So it was kind of on Adam too. Like, Adam was trying to pass
Wow.
off some of the blame. So Adam learned from Sean the best, just pass off all your blame to somebody else.
Wait, so refresh me because I don't remember if you brought it up specifically. Did Adam?
All right.
I know he directed it, right?
Yeah, he also came up with the story with the writer.
Okay, so okay, all right. That's what I
So-
needed to know.
The whole thing was, so Adam is fresh out of like film school at this point. He hasn't done anything. He's come up with a script about a girl's boyfriend coming back from the dead with his buddy Dean Lorey, and the script eventually became My Boyfriend's Back, which is a Disney movie. Sean bought the script from them and then sold it to Disney for a bunch of money. Good old Sean. And he
Piece
goes,
of
hey man,
shit.
yeah, no, he goes like, hey, he goes, that's my movie. He goes, hey man, how about directing a Friday the 13th movie? And he goes, yes. So Adam just jumped all over this. And he's a film buff and shit like that. I feel bad for him when he talks. I'm not like, I'm just spotlighting this because it should be something. I haven't seen it publicly said or anything like that. I think he has Bell's palsy like Jim Ross does. Because when he talks, the right side of his face is very emotive. The left side of his face, his eyes half closed, and his mouth doesn't open as much as the other one. So I mean, he's been through a lot. I don't want to sandbag like Adam Marcus a lot on this podcast, but like everything he wanted as like he feels like this kid who has all these ideas and then they just don't really translate when you get to the picture because his original cut of this movie is like 2 hours long, and he said it was fucking horrible. And then they edited it down. And Sean Cunningham they shot the movie at like 24 frames per second, which is a tad bit faster than what normally was. So and then you have to like this audio synchronizer because the audio would disalign from the movie because it's being shot so fast. And you can't really tell, but the movie moves by pretty fucking quick because it's shot 24 frames per second, but it saved them a bunch of money on the production. Like, they made this movie for $2.5 million.
And I'll say in his defense,
how much did it make?
It made about 15.9.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Well, would you
And I'll say
Alex?
Yeah, I'll say in Adam's defense, like, I mean, the movie doesn't make any sense, but I was never bored watching it. Like, it just is.
Yeah, it goes by quick for 88 minutes.
That is a good point, and I think for what this movie is, if it wasn't a Friday or like a Jason movie, I keep wanting to say Friday the 13th, but it's technically not. If it wasn't a Jason, I mean, it is and it isn't, right? Because it's not named it, but yeah, we all understand. If it wasn't a Jason movie, right, and it was just some other whatever, like, made up killer, I think it would have worked a lot better. But the fact that it is Jason Voorhees and there's already an established lore, and this shit just like completely, it doesn't line up with any, and like for most of the movie you're confused as to how in the hell Creighton knows anything about Jason. One of the things that really like irked me with this was the whole like, Jason wears the skin of other people. It's like, when the fuck has that ever happened? Like, you know, like I said, it's just
the movie is kind of Frankenstein together, like from a story perspective. And again, you know, how do I put this? So like Halloween Ends does the same thing. They don't blow Michael up, but Michael is not in the movie for the most of it. The one scene everybody wants is Michael riding bitch on that motorcycle, and we don't get it. When they're going back after killing the doctor and his girlfriend.
While Raindrops Are Falling on My Head is playing.
Yeah, dude, that's seared. I have not watched that movie since we covered it. I do plan on rewatching it. But that fucking thought and that vision is seared into my fucking brain, thinking, that's what I deserve. You know, in my life, I deserve to have that scene of Michael. Like in a legit fucking $50 million movie budget, or $10 million, I guess is what it costs. That's what I fucking want right there. But,
oh man,
Michael, like they do that same thing, and that's why I had a problem with Halloween Ends. Like, okay, you're trying something different. I get it. Don't do it with the last fucking movie of your franchise. At this point, the problem I had with The Last Jedi is I think Rian Johnson is an interesting director. He should have had his own trilogy from the word go, disconnected from anything Star Wars did with the Skywalker thing. They needed a consistent vision. It was breakneck, JJ going this way, Ryan going this way, and JJ goes, no, we gotta fix it. So it's not an enjoyable experience. With Adam, he's trying to piece all this stuff together to make it make sense. So Jason comes back from being blown up in this movie. Oh yeah, this makes sense because of the Necronomicon. He doesn't have his, like, the details. Like, so, okay, Jason is the son of Pamela and Elias Voorhees. So when a woman and man are married, the woman takes the man's name. But through a Voorhees was he born, so Pamela. So Diane Kimball is a Voorhees, so she's technically Pamela's daughter. The way he said it was, he thought that she'd given Diana up for adoption because Jason, who was this mongoloid special needs child, was the apple of her eye and needed all of her protection. So she just had nothing because she's crazy anyway. So she just wanted to get rid of Diane. So that doesn't make much sense. I always thought in my head that Diane was the daughter of Elias and another woman. Well, evidently the Friday the 13th game with the Pamela tapes, which were bonus things, Elias wasn't Jason's real dad. Jason's real dad, some unnamed dude that was beating her all the time.
It's crazy, Ralph.
I knew it, man. He's like, you're old, dude. I fuck that bitch. She's crazy. I'm like, Cody, you fucking just pieced it all together, brother. So, yeah, man. And there's a Friday the 13th game Wikipedia page or the fan Wiki, and that's canon. So, because I looked up, is Elias Jason's father, and the AI thing on Google showed up. Elias is not Jason's father; it's an unnamed guy, according to this article. I'm like, you fucking idiots! It's some independent movie director
idiots.
this independent movie director named Adam Green, who did like the Hatchet movies, is the one that came up with these fucking Pamela tapes. Like, it's not canon, but it's just weird that he has a half sister. The original thing that Adam wanted to do was this guy, like Jason gets killed at the beginning of the movie, and this like shadowy figure grabs his body and drags him to an abandoned cabin somewhere in the woods and starts to operate on him. And it's Jason's twin brother, Elias Jr., who's even more evil than Jason. So this movie could have been more fucking crazy than it was. Yeah, like I said, everybody, so Jason gets blown up. He goes through bodies, and then eventually he's like a penis worm that goes from mouth to mouth, and then he turns into something you'd see. It feels like something from the Evil Dead, some little demon thing. And then he crawls up his sister's dead cooch, and then comes back with his original body somehow. And then he gets dragged to hell with things that look like you'd see on Power Rangers that came out in the 80s in Japan. And then Freddy's glove comes out, helmed by Kane Hodder himself, and dragged to hell. Adam Marcus claims that is his idea, that New Line didn't tell him to put that in there. But they were already planning that, and he didn't know it. Like, they were already planning for Freddy versus Jason, but he didn't know it. And also, like, Freddy's Dead wasn't a great movie, like Cody was saying. So, Nightmare on Elm Street wasn't this juggernaut it was just a couple years before. Because Part 4 is like peak MTV, most popular, made $44 fucking million. Freddy's Back, or whatever the fucking that movie's called. And then Freddy 6 is like two movies later.
I think Part 4 is called Dream Master.
No, Dream Master's Part 3.
No, that's
Dream Warriors is 3.
Oh, Dream Warriors. My bad. Yeah. It's the Kabuki Warriors. It's the Ultimate Warrior. Anyway, let's get back on track. So yeah, Adam tried this, and then Halloween 5, Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers, they tried this too, where they kind of piece the movies together the best they can, and it's hard to do when the story is meant to go one way and it goes another way, and just trying to piece all this shit together. The Cult of Thorn from Michael Myers. It's funny because Michael has a great nephew in that movie. Jason has a great fucking niece in this movie. It's really fucking weird. Yeah, and Jason, like I said, Jason just looks fucking terrible, man. I can't get over that part. It's just like, maybe it's great he wasn't in this movie, because if that Jason, that sack of shit, was walking around, I would have hated this movie even fucking more.
Yeah, just all bloated.
And it's funny, as a kid, when I watched this movie, when I went back to watch the other ones, I'm over here thinking, like, man, Jason has a heart that beats black blood in Part 4. Like, that's not how you're supposed to connect it. Like, those movies shouldn't be connected at all. But in my head, I'm over here trying to make this head canon that fucking makes sense, I'm like, man, this is cool. I wonder if the hospital in 4 is the same hospital as in fucking Part 9. I'm an idiot because it's in Ohio and that one's in fucking New Jersey. But I'm like, hey, it's a hospital. It's got to be the same, right? Anyway. Oh, Lord, man. Like I said, there's so much, like, I feel bad because I watched this movie and I went from, like absolutely hating the idea of watching this movie when we get to the point that I was just going to fucking take a shit on this movie, on this episode, to, I wouldn't even say feeling neutral. Like, I understand this movie, but when I watched it, like, truly watched it for this podcast, I came away with, like, no feeling. Like, I didn't hate it. I don't like it. I don't love it. I have, like, this detachment from it that I've never felt with any of the Friday the 13th movies after we've done it. Most of the times I'm exhausted because I've watched the movie like 5 times with 4 different commentaries. This one I watched it 3 times. When I watched it finally for myself, I didn't have a fucking feeling with it. And then you guys have all said, like, this movie sucks. I'm like, I don't think this movie sucks. I just don't think about this movie at all. It's really fucking weird.
This movie sucks as a Friday the 13th movie.
Okay, you said Friday
Yeah.
the 13th Part 6 sucks, and you think Part 4 is terrible because it's the
I don't
same.
think I
And me and
said. I
Alex
don't think I said. I don't think I said part 6 sucks. I think I said that
you
part
just think the
6 was
song
just.
sucks, don't you?
I just think the
Huh? You want
song
to go
sucks.
solo? You just want to go solo?
Uh,
Don't you pull out those
part
muscles and you ain't
6
going to use them?
My issue with part 6 was that it was too derivative at that point. Like we had already seen the same kids go to Crystal Lake and get killed thing multiple times. Like it was getting old. And I commend this movie for trying to do something different. It just doesn't work for Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I mean, but what can you do other than take them to fucking space, baby?
Better.
Well, and I'd say my problem with this movie is even the doing different thing. Yeah, cool, but they didn't. It doesn't make any sense. That's
Yeah.
what I don't.
Yeah, that's my big thing with it is that it's just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you walk away from the movie, and I do agree with you guys saying like it doesn't make much sense. The reason why it makes more sense to me is because I've like watched all this shit and listened to Adam Marcus talk, and I respect the guy. Like, I mean, he had a vision. Unfortunately, he's also one of the writers of Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Oh, what a great movie!
Yeah, man. Hey, take it over, cuz. No, he said that line was not his line. He did not put that in there. The director put that in there. So I'm like, okay, man. It's kind of starting to sound a little bit like Sean Cunningham, but
Yeah, for
Um,
real.
But they've come out with this feature-length movie called Heart of Darkness: The Making of the Final Friday, and it's this documentary movie that they've done, talking to actors, talking to Adam Marcus, that has had a couple screenings, and I guess it's getting released later this year as a Blu-ray. I'm interested in getting it and watching it, just because they're actually getting more people who didn't want to do the Crystal Lake documentary. And that Blu-ray, that's like fucking 5.5, 6 hours long. Like that documentary covering all the fucking movies, which is incredible, Because who would have thought like this little trashy ass slasher franchise would get this kind of like coverage from something that grew from just a fan loving it, But so I'm interested in that. Sean Cunningham is not anywhere near it. And the person who on Reddit said, like, I didn't like this movie, but I like Adam Marcus more after watching it. And they asked him, it's like, hey, why isn't Sean Cunningham in this movie? And he says, because Sean's an asshole. And there are no truer words ever been spoken before. Like, it is so fucking, like everybody seemed to get along with Adam except for the lady, Kira. I can't remember the lady's name. I don't feel like looking it up. And then she wanted Sean to direct her scenes because her and Adam got into and Adam's 23, she's 25, 26. Adam's also like 5'8", wearing like 2-inch heels to make himself look taller. So there's a short man complex a little bit, I think, at the time. And like I said, Sean just, I want to make my money, So this movie, you can tell like when it's not made with care, or at least a slightest bit of professionalism from the producers, it turns into a shitty ass movie. Like this whole thing, I blame all this on Sean. I don't blame this on Adam. He was thrust in there because they wanted to pay somebody like less money to do a Friday the 13th movie. So it sucks. But also so Jason comes back, he gets drugged to hell. Like that part, I think it's goofy as hell that Jason fights Steven as long as he does, because why doesn't he just fucking kill him?
Takes forever.
But I will say the fact that Jason takes a handle to a rake and just starts whacking him, like I'm watching a movie of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think is hilarious. Like it is pretty fucking like just great. That he's
that could have been a really cool kill with that little jungle gym thing, and then
yeah.
when happens.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So the jungle gym actually was a set piece from the Alfred Hitchcock movie The Birds.
Oh wow!
And I guess they asked Universal if they could have it. Universal goes, go for it, and they welded a bird on the top of that jungle gym, so it came from The Birds, is what Adam said. Let me see if there was any other note. There's actually like other than Jason Takes Manhattan, which I had the notes of Haley Who, First movie. Wasn't interested in taking notes. That's the only notes I made for part 8. This one had probably the least amount of notes too. So let's see here. Oh, the FBI agents were actually the props department. Jungle Jim is from the Birds. Universal gave it to him.
You can tell they weren't actors. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure, yeah.
So $2.5 million to shoot the movie, 23 frames per second. They had 37 days to shoot in L.A. The Jason dagger scene was shot on Adam's 24th birthday.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
what was up with the
24 years
dagger,
old.
too? That was crazy.
Yeah, I think it's only supposed to look like that in the hands of a Voorhees. Go fucking figure. The Steven character. So so Jason's niece. I guess I need to look up these fucking characters. Hold on. I'm not doing my fucking job correctly.
I don't. Talking about that Voorhees, all the Voorhees thing. I don't like all that. The whole for some reason the Voorhees are some like mystical fucking clan of people. Like,
Do you
why
think
can't they just?
it's a clan that starts with 2 Ks? It's New
Well,
Jersey, so probably not.
I don't know. Jason came close in part 2 with that sack over his head.
Oh
Yeah,
my god! I
that's
can't
true.
see. I can't see shit out of this thing. Turns out his mom cut out the little eye for him. She goes, "My mom fucking sucks."
Right before she
so-
got her head cut off.
So Jessica Kimball, which is Jason's niece, she and Stephen Freeman evidently had this child at a wedlock, and she just took off without letting him see the baby or whatever. So that's why he says, "The first time seeing my baby, it doesn't make a lot of sense."
Yeah.
But so she's played by Kara Keegan, and she's the one that had issues with Adam. Everybody else seemed to get along with Adam. Now the woman who played Diane Kimball, Jason's half sister, is Erin Gray, and she
was with one of the sheriffs, or the sheriff, I guess, who is about 25 years her senior.
Well, I mean, she's kind of old in that too. She probably colored her hair. I'm just saying.
She doesn't look that old though.
Well, I mean, she's
You
got
know?
crow's feet.
Well, I mean, hell, I'm 33
Hell.
and I'm close to having crow's feet. You know.
Oh, you still got that little rogue gray streak in your hair too, in the top of your forehead. I mean, I'm saying it as somebody who's practically bald, so I can't like judge your hair. So I'm just saying. But no, Erin Gray. So that scene where the Jason monster went up her cooch. That Adam has said that was a studio directive that needed something to make sense, and obviously she wasn't on set for that. She didn't know that happened until she watched it at the premiere, and she was mortified.
Wow.
She felt like she was taken advantage of, and like because she wasn't told that was going to happen on screen to her character. I didn't think much of it. Like again, only $15 million. Not many people are going to think much of this movie.
What's the deal with so it's just this heart when Jason dies, but then when he's inside this guy, this whole creature comes crawling out of his chest?
Turns into a slug.
So that's
or something.
that's never explained. It's never explained, but for what I understand, like that's the evil that represents Jason. That's Jason's entity. So it's in his heart. So it's manifested like it's in his heart. But once his heart's been consumed, it just manifests in this beast. Is the way I look at it. They had another sequence at the end of this movie that the little Jason creature got bigger. They actually had a amputee actor that was going to play it. They had the suit and everything. That was going to play this bigger Jason, and it just got completely cut out because I guess it didn't make any fucking sense. But there's like stills and pictures of it, like you can see online of it. But yeah, like I said again, like there's no connective tissue. Like, it doesn't make any sense for him to go up his sister's cooch, and then his body that's blown to pieces gets reformed magically somehow. Because I always took it as, well, that's Jason's sister's body just turned into Jason. But why does he look like Jason from the beginning? You know?
This movie doesn't make much sense starting from the point that the guy eats the heart. Like from that point on, it doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever.
It like hypnotizes him. I think it's like eat me, eat me, eat me. You know, it's kind of like your girlfriend's pussy. So,
and that is what it looks like when you eat pussy. So
it's like it's just
sometimes
the mouth
sometimes
goes
it
eat
even
me,
speaks
eat
to
me,
you.
eat me. Yeah, it goes. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say my girlfriend. No, I'm not gonna do that.
It sings, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey."
Hello, my honey. And I go, "Hey, Cody, come look at this," and it stops. Because that's what happens in that cartoon.
Come over here.
Cody's on his way, honey. You keep that shit singing.
Whenever I
So-
walk out of the room, it pulls out a little cane and a top hat.
I love that fucking frog. You have no idea how much I reference that bit from Looney Tunes. I'll sit there when I had those issues with my truck and I could never get it figured out. And anytime somebody else would get in the vehicle or test drive my truck, it would never do it. And I'd just be like, it's like that fucking frog from Looney Tunes. It only does it with me, and everybody else is like, it's normal. So yeah, like the demon thing. So the demon up the legs wasn't his idea. Let's see here. So Steven, the character of Steven, was supposed to be Tommy Jarvis. And like I said, that's his first draft of the movie. He rewrote the character some more when they couldn't use Tommy Jarvis because Paramount goes, nope, you can't have that. They literally just got Jason, and you can reference Pamela and shit like that. But Paramount didn't give up shit to New Line, evidently. Like, you couldn't use Friday the 13th. Because I'm assuming they did that because they had the Friday the 13th show. So they wanted to keep control of the name.
That
Let's see
makes
here.
sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I mean, what's the point in keeping like these characters hostage if you're going to give the rights to the main killer to another company anyway?
What's this point of releasing a wrestler and then not letting them use their name on the independents? That's what Vince McMahon always did. So, and always sent out cease. Like he was never going to use another New Age Outlaws, but they couldn't use that name in TNA. Like that doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, because you didn't know.
Oh, I didn't know. You're right. Vince is gonna Vince is gonna be like giving you a lawsuit. So yeah, like the plot of this movie, like I'm not doing a good job, I guess, covering the plot for this episode for anybody listening this far. Like, this movie is fucking bonkers. And if you like chaos, if you don't like Friday the 13th, you'll like this movie because you'll think it's fucking different. Like, hey, they tried something new. I am a fan of Friday the 13th. Mainly Jason fucking Voorhees. I love Jason from 2 to fucking 8. I can make a headcanon to make those movies make fucking sense, and I enjoy it. So I love this franchise. I love Jason as a fucking character. I understand he's better as just the killer in the background with the story playing out in front of him. Don't give him a fucking story because it takes away too much of the mystique. This movie does not do like any kind of justice to it. It tries. You listen to Adam, he really fucking tried. It's like having sex with your girlfriend for the first time when you're a virgin. You try, you don't know what you're doing, you came, but it was pretty quick and kind of messy. And that's what I feel like this movie. The movie goes by quick and it's kind of messy. We'll go around talking about this. I want to go around like the table here, this virtual table of Discord. And go around and talk about what you did actually like about this movie. Like pick one thing. Just one thing. Oh, just one thing. Just pick one thing that you guys like. And I'm gonna go with Owen first, since he's the Jason who goes to hell virgin here.
Yeah, I liked the kills. I thought they were pretty good, and I thought the action was okay. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah, after we get through this, I gotta talk about one of the things that got cut. That's in the underrated cut. It's pretty dope.
One more thing. I really liked the special effects of the guy melting. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the
good.
in the unrated cut, it's even better.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't even see that.
I will send you guys. I'll find the unrated cut online on YouTube, and I'll send it to you guys just so you can see it. Like it goes on and on for a little bit. It's really fucking good. He's like and there's a scene where he goes against the wall, and he pulls away, and the skin is just liquefying, sticking to the wall, kind of like a liquid, like a fresh spider web. It's just like sticking to him, and it's peeling and all the shit. It's really fucking cool. So yeah, I like that special effects. Alex, what's one thing you really liked about this movie?
I actually like the Creighton Duke character. I think if they could have found a way to make it make sense, it at least gives an interesting adversary for Jason.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to have. I feel like it's nice to have the consistent character. Like, I really enjoyed Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah,
And,
totally.
you know, I know it's played by 3 different guys, but having him in 3 different movies, having some kind of continuity with that, I always enjoyed. Kind of like, you know, I always enjoyed Dr. Loomis in Halloween. Like, I love Dr. Loomis. To me, Crazy Ralph was the Friday the 13th Dr. Loomis, and they killed him in part 2. But that's always the association in my head. So, yeah, I do like having an adversary to Jason. And as a kid, you were watching this as a kid. Like I said, I believed everything in fucking wrestling. So it was easy for me to be like, yeah, that guy's a badass. Look at that. So, Cody, what's one thing you liked?
I liked the Freddy teaser at the end.
Of course you
And
did.
I also liked that the diner owners were entrepreneurs and trying to capitalize on Jason being dead by selling 2-for-1 burgers.
The
Yeah.
diner owners were funny too. How the wife was all, rah, rah," and then
This is how you make it. Now you can take that and make another burger, and that's how we sell them 2-for-1.
So that's funny that you bring those up because when Owen was talking about the kills were really good, and the kills are pretty good in this movie. The unrated cut, their son, the guy that goes out with the gun, he goes up there and he points. He's not pointing at Jason. He goes, "Hey," and then Jason grabs one arm and then he goes to punch him with the other, and Jason grabs it and fucking snaps his forearm in half. And you see these fucking, like, 2 big-ass bones pop out of his arm. It's just fucking gruesome. It's fucking awesome looking. He was a friend of Adam Marcus. Like, and he was just, like, the on-set security, too. And they gave him a part just so, he could be in the movie. The cop, Randy, who gets possessed by Jason at the end, that's actually Adam Marcus's little brother. I'm assuming it's his little brother. It may be his older brother. It don't matter. They don't look a lot alike. Adam Marcus, when Robert Jason, so that's the TV host, when he goes into the police center, I don't know what you fucking call it, the precinct. He goes into the precinct the first time, and you see a guy with kind of like darkish blonde hair, with kind of swooped over. And he's talking on the walkie. He goes, "Hey, man, you okay?" And he gets thrown over the thing. That's actually the director, Adam Marcus, in the movie. Trying to think, is there anything else like that? So for me, the one thing I kind of liked about this movie is, like, now I have a more appreciation for Adam Marcus, what he went through, because he was kind of thrust upon this. And then when it failed with the fan base and in most recent years, Sean has completely disowned him and shit like that. And Adam was like childhood friends with Sean's son, Noel Cunningham, who's a producer for like Jason X, who's interviewed and shit like that. So, Sean, said he was like on set when they filmed the first Friday the 13th, the original one. So he kind of grew up with this franchise, and I feel bad for him that it didn't work out better. He has a lot of great ideas. I don't know how well they translate when it comes to things. If he had his own IP to do something, I think he could have done some really good things. The fact that he had a chance at Jason and had a chance at Leatherface, it didn't work out. So I appreciate Adam and his efforts. The one thing I like on screen, the titties, probably. I'm just going to be completely honest.
Always good.
I know I sounded real deep there at that, but I'm telling you, the first chick, she played in Roadhouse. She was nude in there too, and she looked great. The FBI agent, the chick in the tent, looked pretty good, and Jason's niece, even though she didn't want to do a nude scene, I saw how big they were in the bra. It's fun. It's great. So, and it's just a joke. I mean, I do like titties, but I feel like, man, there's not a lot on here that I actually like. Like I said, I feel very disconnected from this movie now, which is really weird. Usually you're in love with something and then you feel disconnected at some point. And you're just like, you feel nothing. I hated this movie and I just feel a disconnect. Like, even when we watched The Last Jedi, I went from hating it to like, yeah, it's okay. Like, I just don't have a strong feeling, but I have a feeling at least. Like this right here, I wish that, it was just another Friday the 13th movie. Like, I would have been perfectly fine with just seeing Jason shit like that. I don't like the body hopping thing. I think it's fucking weird and it confuses shit. Like, when has he ever had this ability? I like Jason being this Frankenstein like zombie like thing that you just can't kill until you find some ridiculous reason to kill him at the end of the movie. I'm fine with that kind of stuff. I know people feel like you have to do something way different and change the box. Even if you redefine something. Like, I compare it to like Limp Bizkit. Like, me and Cody are big Limp Bizkit fans.
Yeah.
If Limp Bizkit, what'd you say, Cody?
I said, yeah.
Yeah. If Limp Bizkit changed their music, they got a different vocalist and they changed their music, and it was like a really deep, meaningful music, they wouldn't make any fucking money off of it. People would criticize them for changing. Well,
is empty.
So if they had done that though, Limp Bizkit like would not make any money. People would criticize them for changing their roots while they're being criticized for being who they are in the first place. That's Friday the 13th. You're going to be criticized because Jason is truly, for me, the boogeyman. There is no definition to him but what you give in that movie. And he works best in the background. Like, they tried their best in the reboot to give him that story to tie the mythology together, but they also knew to keep him in the background and then have some badass fucking kills. It's not really that deep, you know? Sometimes we want our favorite characters to be a deeper character, then they lose their meaning. Kind of like, for me, like Boba Fett. Boba Fett was an awesome, mysterious character for me because I read his stories and I saw him in the original movies. Then they completely changed his character for the Book of Boba Fett show, and you showed him too much, he kept taking his fucking helmet off. Like, there's no mystique behind it anymore. So, like, Jason doesn't need, like, this strong fucking, like, story behind it. It's gotta fucking make sense. Everybody goes to a Jason movie to have fucking fun. And first and foremost, I want Jason Voorhees to be treated with respect. The rest of the movie can be goofy. But it has to have, you have to take Jason seriously. Don't make Jason a joke. And I feel like this movie, like, making him look like that made him a fucking joke. He just looks fucking terrible. I don't know how anyone can sit there and say, yeah, man, that's a great look. They said they kind of looked off the Part 7 look and wanted to go with that kind of route. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck you fell off the third step to that process, but you fucking fell off. Like, he looks terrible. He looks like a fucking diseased husk of, like, raccoons having sex together. This is what Jason looks like in this fucking movie. It's just like fucking horrendous.
It looks like he, like a beehive.
he looks like he drank that toxic waste in Part 8. Like, it's so good.
Got that old honeycomb head.
Like, I'm waiting for that fucking, is it the bee that has the honeycomb? That Honey Nut Cheerios. Honey Nut Cheerios has the bee. Like, they used to have a honeycomb commercial, and I just, like, the Jason head should be, like, the mascot for it. So, you know, now let's go around the table real quick. I mean, I feel like we're having a good episode. I don't want to cut it off too quick. So, the thing you hated the fucking most about it, I've already talked about my shit, so we'll go with Alex first.
Oh, boy. I'm just gonna say the body hopping stuff. I think it's not needed in this movie, and you go through characters then that you never get invested in.
Okay, Cody.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. It just a Jason movie that's 85% without Jason. Just what's the point of even making it?
Amen. But get that damn hockey mask out of it, Cody. You need to fucking understand that, okay?
Yeah.
Owen, what is the thing you hate the most about this movie?
The main characters were just completely uninteresting, and they felt so disconnected and not fun to watch. The fucking diner owner and the husband should have been the main characters. They were more interesting. Everything else was just the plot. Probably overall is probably the one thing I hate. I just think it was really dumb.
That's saying something because you don't like a lot of these movies at all.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I can get I can get the appeal. The appeal is watching, Jason go crazy and, like, rip somebody's head off or whatever. But this one really doesn't have that.
But
He's just a guy in a
this
suit.
movie doesn't have Jason doing that.
Yeah, it's just a guy in a suit like getting shot like 50 times and going like, whoa.
Great graphics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice graphics.
The special effects in this movie, I feel like are pretty good. Like the blood, use of blood. Now the creature shit, it looks kind of rough. But the blood stuff they use with all that, like the blood on Robert Jason when he's getting shot and you see all that black blood coming through him, he gets shot through the head and shit. I like that stuff. That stuff looks pretty good too. I say the thing I hate most about this movie is Sean fucking Cunningham. Like the first trailer says, the creator of the first returns to bring you the loudest. It's like, you cocksucker, you're just here to fucking make money. Like, I understand make money. Not here to make money. Yeah. I understand, like, nothing gets done in Hollywood not to make money. I'm not stupid. But there's a thing when you just make something and you don't fucking understand it. You don't understand why fans like this shit. You literally here are for the fucking money. That's Sean Cunningham. There's a level of like shit, and then he's the ground that the shit lays on. That's Sean Cunningham. You can't get lower than that, in my opinion. He is the piranha. So, okay, before we get into the rankings, and then we'll go around first and do the like. Do you recommend? Don't recommend? I think everybody can kind of guess. Before I do that. What is one thing about this movie that you think you would change to make it better? So I'm going to go with Owen first, since he's the virgin here.
I mean, if there was one thing, I think what Cody recommended earlier was like a pretty good idea. Just to kind of take out these sci-fi, or not sci-fi, that's the wrong term. These like magical elements and the weird body possession stuff. I'd probably take that out. Okay. I probably.
How would you make it better?
It's a tall order. I mean, I think just taking it out.
Cody's idea, and I think I liked that idea of a Frankenstein version of Jason.
Yeah.
Being put together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought that was just kind of, I don't know, a better than what we got. And
whoever owns the rights these days, call me.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I think the general consistency is like, just keep Jason in his body. We don't need the magical shit. You can leave that shit with Freddy, or the Deadite stuff. But Jason, like, before this movie, Jason wasn't a spiritual being. He was a monster that was killing people. This movie, like I said, if you had patched them up like Frankenstein, put all the shit together, like, Cody was saying. I mean, we've already resurrected him like Frankenstein once in part 6. It would fucking work, So, Cody, since that was your idea, do you have another idea to improve something else secondary to the movie? Or is that was just what you would go with?
Yeah, that's what I would go with. I mean, because I couldn't help but think about that a lot while watching this movie. Like, oh man, like that one change in the plot would have, I think drastically helped this be a better movie.
I think blowing up Jason at the end of the movie would have been fucking sweet. Like, have Jason the whole
they kind of do that in Jason X.
Yeah. With the idea that I like my idea or whatever, I just think in a hypothetical world where that would have existed, right? Like, they start the movie off and it throws you off because, like, oh, they killed Jason in the first 10 minutes or whatever. But then you have this guy that's, like, obsessed with him and puts him back together and resurrects him again. So for at least briefly, it would throw the audience off. But yeah, I mean, so I don't mind that they blew him up in the beginning. It's just where it goes from there is not great.
I respect that. Alex, is there anything you would change for the better?
I mean, that's the biggest thing, but also to say something different, just get a better version of Jason. Like, make him look either clean or, more, come up with something new, like that maybe happened to him in Manhattan. He came back because of that acid and looked different because of that, and it looks better.
He looks like the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, there you go. Honestly, the Toxic Avenger Jason is not a bad idea.
I mean, he looks pretty toxic right now in this movie. And I agree, though, with all that. I mean, all that stuff does sound really good. If I was to change something, I said take Sean off the fucking movie. I would, man, it sounds so fucking, he wouldn't have come back for this movie to save his fucking life. But I would have put Tom McLaughlin, the guy who directed Part 6, in charge of the movie as a director. And, you know, at least had some of the same people from Paramount making this movie behind the scenes, because, you know, as much as everybody says, well, yeah, I mean, it's true, Paramount didn't care about this franchise. They wanted the money. Those movies were still made with, like, a care. I know they're just mindless slaughter films, but once we get into these New Line Home Cinema Jason movies, it's bad. I mean, this is, like, bad. Then Jason X is a little better, but it's still bad. Freddy vs. Jason is a fun little action flick. And then that's all they make. The next one is literally New Line and Paramount together for the reboot. You know? So it really is missing a lot of it. The picture quality looks a little too clean for me. It no longer has an 80s feel to the film. Like when you watch it, it doesn't have that coziness anymore. It has more sci-fi TV movie. You know, and like I said, I wish, you know, I just wish, I mean, the one thing I changed, like I said, Alex had said the Jason look, like, you know, I told Alex, like, I mean, Jason from Part 4 is probably my favorite Jason, because he's just fucking angry and just doing anything to kill anybody the best he can. He runs after people and shit. Part 6 is probably like what was my grandma's favorite look for Jason. I really like that one. I love the look of Part 3 before he gets the actual look. I just love the clean Jason before he gets any damage. Just looks fucking awesome. That look just looks so fucking bad in this movie. I would definitely change. Yeah, I wouldn't focus on tying the Necronomicon to it, like the magical thing. Like, you can't throw, like, he was doing the best he could to branch out the Friday the 13th to touch these other franchises to make this kind of web of, like, all this shit's connected. I would have loved to have had some reference to Haddonfield, Illinois, with Michael Myers in this fucking movie. That would have been pretty fucking dope. My dream is to have, like, a Jason and Michael just standoff. I don't need to see the fucking movie. I need a professional standoff. There's a lot of cool fan films people put together. But yeah, that's the gist of our Friday the 13th.
Have you seen any of the Jason fan films, like the Never Hike Alone or anything?
I have watched a few of them. One of them, they actually brought back the guy who played Tom, in Part 6. And like I said, if you ever get a chance to watch them on YouTube, they're definitely fucking worth a watch. Like, they're made by people who care. You can tell it's a little lower quality because they don't have a lot of money, but it looks as good as, it looks better than this fucking movie. I can tell you that right fucking now. Like, from a film wise, from a look wise, Jason looks awesome. So, you know, I would definitely recommend anybody out there to go look out Never Hike Alone, any of the Jason fan films you can find. There's one I sent to Alex, I feel like in the last couple of years, and it came out like close to 10 years ago. There's a 3-part thing. It's Jason versus Michael. And it literally is like, Michael looks like Michael in the original Halloween, and Jason looks like Jason in Part 3. And they're killing people, but one of them's supposed to be Michael's victim, and Jason gets to him first, and then vice versa. And then they end up facing off, and they're just stabbing the fuck out of each other. And then Michael drags Jason to a shed, and he goes in the shed to grab something, and Jason's gone, and he turns around. So it's cool, them playing the tricks on each other that you see in the movie. So that one's really well done. So I guess I'll go around the table real quick. We'll do, before we go into the rankings and Cody's little system. Owen, do you recommend this movie?
You know, I'm gonna have to not recommend this movie. I don't see anybody.
What about somebody
who's gonna watch this and be entertained, really, and could.
What?
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what if the person's only entertainment was punching themselves in the dick a lot during the day?
They might like this.
Would you recommend them watch this movie?
Yeah, they might.
Okay, so that's a no from Owen. Cody, would you recommend this movie?
Absolutely not.
And Alex, good sir, would you recommend this movie?
I mean, no, but here's what I'll say is if you are having a get together with some buddies who love watching horror movies, it could be fun to watch a really bad horror movie like this and just laugh at it. So if you ever find yourself in that situation, maybe.
I don't have friends, so it's okay. I don't recommend this. I do have a more respect for Adam Marcus and more understanding. I can't say I recommend this movie. You know, he talks about this movie like he's proud of this movie. There is a quote. Hold on. At the end of the chapter for Jason Goes to Hell in this book, I like to read this one little part for Adam, just to give him a little bit of a nod. He goes, "There's a lot of fans who should examine themselves a little bit and wonder why they keep wanting to watch the same damn movie over and over again. I don't get that. The advent of the video age allows us to do that anyway. So there's a movie that you love, then buy it, that's great. But don't hamper the filmmaking community because they don't want to make the same thing again and again. Because that's the attitude and the way in which these types of movies are usually made, which I think is a shame. Look, nothing even approaches the first Friday the 13th. That has a rawness and immediacy to it that I don't think anyone will match again. I think Friday the 13th, along with Halloween, really opened up a Pandora's box. No other horror movie of this type will ever capture the zeitgeist in that way again. I also think Friday Part 2 is terrific. I love that. Then I'd put Jason Goes to Hell kind of in third position with Jason Lives. They both have a really healthy sense of humor. Both wanted to take the series in a new direction. Both included a real community, a town, and more interesting characters than just Jason. I think that's fair. You know, he has a lot of optimism, and I respect it, but it does not translate, man. And I feel like if you like this movie, good on you. But I feel like there's a lot of people like this movie just in a contrarian way, like, oh yeah, we just want to be different, you know. So let's get in our rankings. Owen.
Welcome to.
I guess I should be asking Cody. Cody has the all of our rankings wrote down.
That's right.
So Cody, if you would go over Owen's list of his movies.
He's in charge of my rankings.
Well, he's in charge of mine. He has mine because mine changes on an episode basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to actually make a solidified list so that no one would change it on the future episodes. So Owen's list including this film, from best to worst: Part 6, Part 5, Part 4, Part 2, Part 3, Part 8, Part 7, the original, and Jason Goes to Hell.
The way Cody was naming that off is almost like Owen just started counting back from 6, 5, 4.
That starts, yeah.
It got better as it went on.
Cody, what is your list, real quick?
My list, including this film, from top to bottom: Jason Goes to Hell. No, I'm kidding. Part 2, the original. Part 5, Part 6, Part 8, Part 4, Part 7, Part 3, Jason Goes to Hell.
Where'd you have Part 6 at, Cody?
Part 6 is number 4 on my list.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I loved Alex's Part 8 before Part 4.
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it on that episode, but it's because 4. I know, coming from you all that really are super into these movies. I know Part 4 and Part 6 are considered really good in this series, but for me, by the time we get to those movies, it's oh man, this is just the same thing, you know. And like even like me I put part 5 over part 6. Part 5 is literally third on my list, and I know fans of this series typically don't like it because it's not really Jason or whatever. But to me, it's like, oh, this is interesting. It's an interesting twist on what we've seen.
I thought it was funny.
Great set of
already.
titties in that movie too. Great set of titties. Even John LaJoy agrees with me, and that's Taco
That's
from the
true.
league.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's funny, but Alex likes Halloween 5, and a lot of people hate that fucking movie. So he's
I
got
don't like
his little
Halloween
quirks
5.
too.
Oh,
Let's go
Halloween
go
5.
for it.
Yeah, I do like Halloween 5. I was thinking
He does
Friday
like Halloween
5.
So Cody, real quick, what was my ranking again? See if Alex
Okay.
agrees with it.
For Lance, from top to bottom, part 6, part 4, part 2, part 3, part 8, part 7, part 5, the original, Jason Goes to Hell.
I know Alex's top 3 are the inverse of my 3, or he has 4, then 2, then 6. So our top 3s match, just in a different order. And it's really like me. It's like 1A, 1B, 1C. You know, I can't go wrong with either of those fucking movies.
Yeah.
But,
Owen's also got 4 and 6 in his top 3, but he's also got number 5 in his top 3.
I mean, it's the titties, dude. I'm telling you. You can't like
They go a long
underestimate
way.
the power of a good set of titties that are natural. You know. So Cody, you have this little system that gives us for the podcast a cumulative ranking, and then we're going to compare that with Alex's ranking.
Okay. So yes, I have the new updated overall rank for Filmoscopy Podcast, starting from number 1. Number 1 is part 6. Number 2 is part 2. Number 3 is part 4. Number 4 is part 5. Number 5 is part 8. Number 6 is part 3. Number 7 is part 1. Number 8 is part 7. And number 9 is Jason Goes to Hell.
So if we're going to take out the movies we haven't covered yet, I'm looking at Alex's list on Letterboxd. Alex's number 1 is Friday the 13th, the final chapter, part 4. His number 2 is part 2. Number 3 is part 6. Number 4 would be part 3. Number 5 would be the original. Number 6 would be part 7. Number 7 would be part 8. And then, I'm missing one. Hold on a second. I can't count, evidently. Oh, no. I'm an idiot. So 1 is part 4. 2 is part 2. 3 is part 6. 4 would be part 3. 5 would be the original. 6 would be 7. 7. Oh,
Yeah, 7 would be 8.
7 will be 8. 8 would be 5, and then 9 would be Jason Goes to Hell. So his top 3 is consistent with our cumulative 3, for sure. Alex has part 5, kind of where I have part 5, lower on the way lower on the list. You guys have it a little higher. The only difference between me and Alex
what elevates
is
it on our overall list, because it's number 4 on our overall list, but that's because Owen and I both have it pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Alex has the original in the middle of the pack, much higher than I do, and he has 7 and 8 inverse than I do. I before that I had 7 higher than 8, but when we had rewatched them, I had more fun watching 8 and Kane Hodder's performance as Jason in that movie than I did in part 7. And I really think when I noticed the mechanic suit at the beginning of the movie on Jason and didn't have the continuity of the clothes, really fucking just tanked it a little bit for me. I don't know why. It's just that everything, as much effort as they put into it. He's got the same mask from part 3. He's got all the damage, but you gave him a new fucking suit. Get fucked. So
Get the fuck out of here.
get the fuck out of here. This guy I work with, his name is Eric, and he's a Nintendo guy. Cody, he's the guy I was telling you that was kind of defending the Switch 2, having just like he says PS5 graphics when it's really PS4 Pro graphics. And I was making fun of him. I was like, "Yeah, I'm Eric. All I do is play Nintendo." Talking about him being a gamer. He goes, "I have a computer, you fuck." So I thought that was really fucking funny. Like we brought that up, and I always fuck with him. He's Hawaiian, so I'll do like just like I make up a bunch of shit about Momoa, and I'll say something about Fuji apples, even though it's the Fiji Islands, and just stupid shit like that. I like fucking with him. He's a funny dude. But yeah, so is there anything y'all want to add about this movie before we do the roundabout and say goodbye?
I think I'm good.
Owen?
Oh, we do need to decide whatever Owen's movie is.
Yes.
Too.
Yes. Are you ready? Are you hyped?
No.
Okay, well, get ready.
I'm
And
scared.
get hyped.
Has it got real animal violence? Because I got a problem with that.
Yeah, it does. It's going to be Dog Killer, the movie. I want to do Kill Bill.
Okay.
Volume
Oh, nice.
Volume Uno. I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never actually watched it before, so.
Hey, is this a remake of that one movie we watched with the American guy with the Japanese movie? Kung Pao.
No,
Into
Kill
the
Bill's
Fist?
not a remake.
What?
Oh, I know it's not. Kung Pao. You remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Owen.
Oh God.
Kung Pao. Hell yeah. That's a classic.
Look. Oh boy. I tell you what, that and Freddie Got Fingered. That's probably the peak of the podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Everything else is that and Leprechaun. Like man, like the story of Cody. It's like, look guys, I got 2 movies. And I thought about doing Hereditary, but I want to do Leprechaun. I'm like, okay, I've never seen
No,
either
it was
one.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin, yeah, my bad, Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
And man, I'm watching this movie going, was this in theaters? Like they paid to put this movie in theaters? But it all made it better when it mimicked the ending of Duel with his 18-wheeler coming down off the side of a mountain. And as it's doing it, you get a view of the Leprechaun, or Rumpelstiltskin, in the cockpit. And he still speaks in like 1500s English. And he goes, "Fucketh me!" And it's fucking great. It is the best fucking line I've ever seen in fucking cinema. Like, ever. So,
I mean, I'm
man,
sure that movie's just as good as Leprechaun.
dude, I didn't have to fucking buy Rumpelstiltskin. It was free on fucking YouTube. That's how bad that movie
wow.
is.
Yeah, I've never
Jesus,
seen the
dude.
original Leprechaun, so I can't say. But I think the only Leprechaun I've ever seen is Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh yeah.
That's boy, you jumped the fucking shark there. So before we go, our next movie will be Kill Bill Volume 11. That's 11. What's this German one?
Eins.
I don't
Eins.
know.
Eins.
Eins. So Eins. Alex. So everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know who I am.
Everybody
what I'm
knows,
capable
wants
of.
to know.
Everybody wants to know what I am.
Everybody
Your
wants to
mother
know.
sucks.
Everybody wants to know, Alex. Who are you wearing?
Yeah. Who's the meat body you're wearing today? You know what I'm saying?
I put my black tongue heart in somebody else's throat for this episode.
Anna Nicole Smith, baby, because she was still alive here. I'll tell you one thing real quick before we get to Alex's little part. I want to ask him. She is hot in that movie, and then the ending scene has always scarred me when she has a penis.
In what
Naked
movie?
Gun 3. Naked Gun 3.
Oh yeah.
She's like taking the stuff off you see, and all of a sudden you see that, brrrr, and he's like, okay, Alex, and I know we've watched the trailer for the new Naked Gun. I gotta say, the man's laughter joke really hit me hard, and it's like, okay, I laughed so hard. I'm like, okay, you know what? I think this movie has a chance. That and take a chair, and she goes, "Thank you." And she just grabs a chair and walks out of the office with it.
Yeah, and leaves.
I don't know if you've seen the full trailer, but there are 2 bits in the full trailer that I really liked. It's when he's driving and
they
someone
give
like
him a
hands him a
coffee.
coffee.
He's like,
Oh
"Thanks."
yeah, that's great too.
And then there's the the part where he's like talking to the picture of Frank, and he's just like, "I'm gonna make you proud, Dad," and then it shows like that whole row of like other cops or whatever like crying into the
OJ.
picture of the dads.
Well, yeah, the OJ guy, he looks just like OJ, and he's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really funny.
I love Paul Hauser playing George Kennedy's son in this, and he's just he's a good actor. He's a big wrestling fan too, but I just love him. He's like, they're like, who's gonna stop me? Other cops? She goes, yes. Is she serious? Is he serious? He goes, no. But the whole setup with Busta Rhymes and seeing Busta Rhymes just threw me back to Halloween Resurrection. And he's like, it says you did 20 years of man's laughter. And he goes, you mean manslaughter? He goes, must have been hell of a joke. I fucking love that so fucking much. But before we let Alex go, on a 2-hour episode, which I feel like doesn't need to be that much edited, this is a great episode. Alex, when is I'll Take 3 coming back? And when am I going to cover Predator with you? And I don't mean sexual.
Oh, God. So my brother was here. He came to visit last month, and we talked about the podcast because he's my wife, and my brother are the hosts. And we were like, do we really need a podcast? So I don't know if it's ever going to come back. We might just hang it up.
Oh, man, dude. That's a bummer. I really want to do Predator. Maybe we could do a episode of just a filmoscopy as like a side thing, and just be me and you, like doing Predator.
Dude, I'm down for that,
I was gonna say, there is a show that we do where we cover movies, and you can pick whatever you want, right?
I'll come on and watch and talk about that one.
Look, I will say this right now. Like, if we wanted to make Alex part of the guest rotation, whenever Alex could make it, and we could pick a movie with him, I'd be fucking all for it because this is fucking fun as shit. Like, we all have a good chemistry. Like, this is great.
I don't know. Me and Owen kind of talked it over, and we're actually kicking you out, Lance.
Oh, great! I'll just sit over here with Alex's. I'll sit with Alex's wife and Jacob and just stare at.
Yeah, you can be. I take 4.
You don't understand. Alex is the new replacement for you.
No, I understand. That's what I said. I'm going to hang out with Alex's wife and his brother just watching you guys record.
No, nice.
So, don't you guys have 2 episodes in the can, though?
We have more than that. I think we have like 4 or 5 episodes in the can.
Jacob needs to go ahead and just,
He
edit
just never,
the motherfuckers
he
up.
never edited them, so we never put them out, and we just quit recording.
He needs to edit them and then just have a schedule they release every 2 weeks just to finish the show out. That shit needs to be and then release that fucking first WrestleMania episode just as a bonus thing because that shit sort of
we
I
sent that
enjoyed
to you,
that.
didn't we?
You what?
You've heard that, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, but I think it should see the light of day. I think it was a pretty cool fucking thing. 2 guys who've never fucking seen it just go in blind watching the first WrestleMania. But yeah, Jacob, I know you ain't listening to this, you fuck, but you need to edit those I'll Take 3 episodes and let the podcast go out on a high note. Because it was a good show. I know they kind of feel like, it's not that big of a deal. Since they changed our output for Spotify, all of our numbers have disappeared. We used to be like, oh man, Duel got 187 plays.
No,
in reality, it only got
You can still see them, Lance. You just have to go into the episode details. Yeah, because the number it shows you now is just Spotify.
Yeah, so it shows Spotify
wow.
plays, and we have 0 Spotify plays. But it shows that the last 2 episodes has 4 streams/downloads. So I know that's one of them, and you and Sarah and 2 other people, I don't know who the fuck they are, who are downloading the episode to listen to it offline, so it doesn't count for Spotify. Really fucking weird. But on YouTube, oh hell, we get hundreds of fucking listens. I'm pretty sure they're just clicking on it thinking it's the fucking movie, but we're getting some fucking traffic here, people.
Well, they shouldn't even be doing that because in the description I specifically put review discussion on the title, and I've even now I put that overlay on the thumbnail where it's got the orange outline and it has our logo and it says review on it. So and people are still clicking them and watching them. So
it doesn't help though that the background of the photo says free movie here, click here. You know,
Free movie here, click here.
it's like movie in description. Haha. I've fallen for that before too. But they're usually on good sites. It's crazy with the access we have to porn on our phones. RedTube, YouPorn. I know these names more than my own grandmothers. X videos, XNXX.
RedTube.
All right, let's wrap this shit.
Let's name all the porn websites we can.
Oh, there's plenty of them. Blacked.com.
Hentai Haven.
So, anyway, if you've listened this far, this is probably our best episode in a long fucking time because it's been a lot of fun. And thank you, Alex, for joining us.
Oh yeah, thanks for bringing me on.
Hell yeah, man. Alex told me, he goes, I can't wait to do this. So this is the last time I'm watching this fucking movie. He didn't say fucking, but I felt it when he said it. I looked at this, like, my Blu-ray case, and I'm like, that's probably the last time I'll pull you out. So, but anybody listening, thank you again for listening. Yeah, if you see us on Spotify, if you just search Filmoscopy Podcast, we are the only thing that pulls up. We have a YouTube channel. Subscribe and like there. Share the episode. If you don't like somebody, share the episode with them. If you think it sucks and waste their time. Like if you see us on Spotify, subscribe to there, rate the show. I don't know how I'll Take 3, who hasn't released an episode in 2 years, has a higher ranking than us, but fuck them. And
Nice.
Yeah, fuck. I'm gonna take your review down to 3.5. See how I like that fucker. But no, thank you for listening. And this is for Sarah, as always. Finish him
Off.